The mysterious case of Sergei Ponomarenko. Not too long ago, in 2006, a young man was found in a very confused state in Kyiv, the capital of Ukraine. He was wearing old-fashioned clothes and had an old camera hanging around his neck. People thought he was crazy, but little did they know that they were about to become part of an extraordinary time travel story. The young man identified himself as Sergei. When the police asked for his ID, it was issued by a country that no longer existed, the Soviet Union. Ukraine had been independent for 2 decades by then. The ID showed that Sergei was born in 1932, but he looked only 20 to 25 years old. The police couldn't understand how someone born in 1932 could look so young in 2006. When asked for the current date, Sergei said, 23rd April 1958. The police, thinking he was mentally unstable, took him to a mental hospital. There, Dr. Bablik examined him. Sergei was as confused about his situation as the doctor was. He explained that he was out taking photographs when he saw a strange object in the sky. Dr. Bablik asked for details, but Sergei couldn't explain much. He handed over his camera, an old Yashiva Flex. The camera was in excellent condition, but the film inside was from 1956, a type discontinued long ago. An expert named Adam Poison was called to develop the film. When the photographs were developed, they showed scenes of old Kyiv, cars, buildings, and street signs from the past. There were also pictures of Sergei and his girlfriend in front of these buildings looking exactly as he did in 2006. The last photo showed an unidentified flying object. This left Dr. Bablik with no choice but to believe that Sergei had somehow traveled through time from 1958 to 2006. But the story took an even stranger turn when Sergei disappeared from the hospital room without a trace, leaving only his camera and photographs behind. The police investigation revealed that a man named Sergei Ponomarenko had indeed disappeared in 1960. The girl in the photographs with him was tracked down and found to be a 70-year-old woman. She confirmed that Sergei had disappeared in 1958 but returned after a few days, only to disappear again in 1960 and never to return. There was a twist in the story. Years later, the same woman received a photo of Sergei, dated 2015. In this photo, Sergei appeared older, and the background showed a city with many skyscrapers. He had written that he would return soon, but for some reason, he couldn't. This bizarre story was featured on a Ukrainian TV show and went viral on the internet. The question remained, was Sergei's story true? To understand this, we need to explore the concept of time travel. We are all traveling through time as each hour passes, but what if someone could move through time differently? Albert Einstein's theory of special relativity suggests that time passes at different rates depending on speed and mass. This was demonstrated in the Hayfel-Keating experiment in 1971, where atomic clocks on planes showed time differences after circling the Earth. Clocks on faster eastward flights were slower, while those on westward flights were faster, proving time dilation. Gravity also affects time, as shown in a 2010 experiment where clocks at different heights ran at different speeds due to gravity's pull. This idea is depicted in the movie Interstellar, where time near a black hole passes much more slowly. Though future time travel is theoretically possible, practical time travel remains beyond our reach. Sergei's story, however, challenges our understanding. Despite its intriguing details, there were inconsistencies. The story of Sergei Ponomarenko, featured on the TV show Aliens, seemed crafted to boost ratings. Yet it sparked discussions about the possibility of time travel. Experts pointed out several issues. The CCTV video showed the date as Wednesday, April 23, 2006, but that date was actually a Sunday, indicating the video was manipulated. The ID stamp on Sergei's Soviet ID was different from authentic stamps used during that era. The 2015 photo of Sergei in a city with many skyscrapers had buildings that appeared identical, suggesting the image was photoshopped. There were no police records of the investigation related to this incident and no credible records of Dr. Bablik. In 2009, Stephen Hawking arranged a party where he was the only attendee. The strange thing was that he published the invitations a year later, stating that if anyone was a time traveler, they could attend the party by traveling back in time. This was his way of demonstrating that past time travel isn't possible. The confusion around time travel is further compounded by the paradoxes it creates. For instance, if you traveled back in time and destroyed the time machine, how would you have arrived in the past in the first place? This paradox, known as the time travel paradox, makes past time travel highly improbable. Despite being interesting, Sergei's story was ultimately debunked, and scientists believe that time travel remains next to impossible. However, the concept of time travel continues to fascinate people, and many stories circulate on the topic. For instance, some believe that Hitler time traveled to escape his demise, but that's a story for another day. Tell me in the comments which time travel story you'd like to hear next. See you in the next video, and don't forget to like and follow for more amazing stories.